President Obama visits Israel for the first time in 5 years, and for many people, they see this as a groundbreaking move. For me, it's simply put, status quo. Obama's latest visit to Israel looked more like a hero's welcome, with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and President Shimon Peres working their way down the tarp. Lots of hugs, lots of love. It's obvious who Obama pledges his allegiance to. And I hate to break this news to you, it's not the Palestinians. The Palestinians need to be aware of this, and they have to face the reality. There's no sitting president that can dictate or force the Israeli government's hand. So here I say that we can't control the government, but there is one thing that we can do. You can protest, you can speak loud, and say that the Israeli occupation is one great injustice. And you can do that here in America, but maybe not in Palestine or in Israel. Upon Obama arriving into the West Bank or in many different parts of Israel in his visit, this is what you saw. Take a look.
You want to shut up? Shut up. I'm not shutting up. I'm not listening for your orders. You are breaking my heart. This is non-violent.
So many things happened when President Obama was in Israel and in Palestine. For me, I can't help but watch the press conferences, starting with President Obama and Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Once again, if you listen and you watch the entire presser, you will see where President Obama stands. And I hate to say this, it's not with Palestine. It is clearly with Israel.
America's support for Israel's security is unprecedented, and the alliance between our nations has never been stronger. That's the sturdy foundation we built on today as we addressed a range of shared challenges. As part of our long-term commitment to Israel's security, the Prime Minister and I agreed to begin discussions on extending military assistance to Israel. Our current agreement lasts through 2017, and we've directed our teams to start working on extending it for the years beyond.
So we got to see a press conference between Benjamin Netanyahu and President Obama. Well, later, President Obama now travels to the West Bank into Ramallah and has a press conference with President Mahmoud Abbas. And here's the thing that really just chaps my hide. President Obama wants to please the Palestinians. I mean, he says all the things that the Palestinians want to hear. But again, I'm a believer that we can't spend so much time talking about words. What about taking real action? Well, at the presser, here's what Obama had to say about his support for Palestine.
Here in the West Bank, I realize that this continues to be a difficult time for the Palestinian Authority financially. So I'm pleased that in recent weeks the United States has been able to provide additional assistance to help the Palestinian Authority bolster its finances. Projects through USAID will help strengthen governance, rule of law, economic development, education, and health. We consider these to be investments in a future Palestinian state, investments in peace, which is in all of our interests.
Now, I know that so many people who maybe just started following the Israeli-Palestinian crisis will take a look at Obama's visit to Israel and Palestine and say that this was a positive trip and that there is hope and there is a future between the Palestinians and the Israelis. Well, hey, I've been watching this and listening to the crisis for all my life, and I'm here to say, and the last thing I want to do is sound negative here on Rise Up, but I believe that Obama's trip was nothing but one large, big bucket of propaganda. This is all, once again, nothing but words. The fact is this: we have seen presidents go, and we have seen presidents come back, and the fact remains that the occupation continues, and that the settlements continue to be built, and that the Palestinians continue to be suppressed. Nothing changes. The only thing that changes is the occupation. The only thing that changes are more settlements. And we get to see Palestinians who are losing their rights every day. And that is what's happening in Palestine as we speak. So anyone that's going to come on Rise Up and say that Obama's trip to Israel and Palestine was a great success and there is a great future for the Palestinians, I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but this is the same old talk and no action. I'm going to repeat this. There will be no sitting president that will ever risk his political future or his party's political future by taking a firm stance on behalf of the Palestinians. It just ain't going to happen. And although President Obama came across genuine, and he had some great points at some of the speeches, especially his speech that he made in front of the college students in Jerusalem, had some great points. But those are just words. We have to face reality. The Palestinians and the Israelis, this is a crisis that will not end, especially with President Obama sitting in office.